Yesterday I talked about 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami, and then all of a sudden I realized that I like to talk about also Kafka on the Shore. This one I read probably after Norwegian Wood, and I was taken by this book. Because of the contents. I think it's about the journey of this young boy who goes through more or less like a difficult time in the family situations and so forth. But that particular story is not, he's trying to find out something right there. Okay, so but that particular story is the main course of the particular journey, but there's a lot of side story. That means he meets somebody, and somebody's talking to him regarding their experience and so forth, and that's so fascinating, so much fun to read. I just literally kind of was smiling or laughing when I was reading this book, and it is something that Murakami's this talent to do that. I think that I thought it was most amazing that you go to this side story. I think I can think of now like a 1, 2, 3, very pops out, and the first thing is that this boy meets early on the trouble this young woman. Her name is Oshima, and she, for example, she drives a car and plays this Franz Schubert music, all right. And the piano sonata, and I had been a great Franz Schubert's fan, and I always listened to the Schubert's piano sonata, and I have my own favorites, and but most of them were very familiar to me, and very the tuneful melodies and everything. But in this book, this Oshima plays this Schubert's piano sonata, which is a piece I didn't that much care for, right? The Murakami described this music as kind of very beautiful, whatever. So I have to listen to this, and it was I would say I don't know why he used this particular sonata piece for Schubert's representations of whole piano sonata genre, but I could see that, and also I could see that the beauty is in that particular music, and that's amazing to me. That wow, I missed that particular sonata, and made me study more about Schubert's music. And then he does a lot of rock and roll music to talk about rock and roll music, and also jazz and everything, and in his book. But this Miss Oshima goes to the she talks about her experience, and even I kind of a chuckle, but she goes to this library, and she is like more like like a gender cross, you don't know if she's a female or male, right? She has beautiful hands and everything, but she could be a male, but I'm not sure. But anyway, when she was in the library and asking about some question or something, I think is that the customers or librarian? I don't remember. But there's two ladies comes in, and I think they do a very kind of harsh remarks on her, and she gets back with you know the the revenging in her mind, and get back to them, and that was so fantastic, so much fun, and so that particular scene is very strong to me, and because when I read it, it's like a mind-bogglingly fun to experience that particular parts, and of course other parts like this boy meets I think Nakata, the older gentleman, and he has this capability with the cats, right? Okay, so I'm not going to talk about in detail what that is, but that was also fantastic and tremendously fun. And the later on, he goes to a little bit weird type of things, sexual type of things there, and then stories end there. But the Murakami's writing is so much. Oh, the one other thing that I left out. This Nakata, who talks with the cat, right? When he was a boy, he had this experience of going to the picnic with this elementary school, or the maybe preschool, excursion to the nice area for picnic, and so I didn't know that. I forgot what the circumstances is, but this teacher, female teacher, accompanying them to the picnic, and this female teacher experiences some strange thing in that particular picnic, and oh gosh, so much fun in that particular sequence, and I was kind of mesmerized by the Murakami's this short story here and there, and then entertained me, and so this book is very, very popular among the young people, probably because the protagonist is a very young, like a high school age guy, and he has a difficult time in the family, and then get somewhere more. He's looking for something, right? He searched for something, and the journey, and that particular sentiment is, I think, appealing to young people. But for me, I read it when I was close to like a 65-ish, and I really enjoyed it very much. And all over I think the world, this book is very popular, and then Murakami is very popular. And I was watching this YouTuber in Korea, I think Seoul in Korea, and she's a Murakami fan, and she encountered this Peter Cafe, which is in Korea. It was okay, and Peter Cafe is, I think, Murakami's own record jazz listening cafe he had for a while when he was younger in Tokyo, and that's the name of the cafe. So I didn't know what the name of the cafe or this place Murakami operated. I didn't know that, but according to her, this is the name of the cafe he used to have, and she discovered the particular cafe in Korea, in Seoul, walking around the streets, and then see this particular cafe. So she has to go in there, and it's lots of Murakami's memorabilia, books, of course, in the shelf, and so forth. And there's several of them in Korea. So that means, Korea and Japan is like something like this, right? And But they have a tremendous this fan of Murakami's fiction, which is very very nice for me, and I love that. And so Korean people are very, I would say, more adventurous, more entrepreneur-like. I talked about a while ago regarding their very very adventurous mind to go outside of Korea and very successful in New York City and all over. And now the internet culture in Korea is very very strong, and accepting all the European or American musical, for example, and change it to Korean words, and they perform that in Korea. That's fantastic. And also Korean TV movies. Well, last year, this Korean film got the best film of Academy a couple years ago. The best film of the Academy Award. That's incredible, right? Okay, so Korea is very good in absorbing the culture and creating their own culture there. And so I understood that Murakami is very popular there, and they have lots of cafe there. So I tremendously, understanding that, and admire people like that. So my message is that regardless of all that, this book is fun to read, and even you are much older person, very much fun to read. And but some caution there, because it's this boy has a tremendous difficulty with father, and the mother is gone somewhere, and he looks for his mother, and he meets this mother, and the strange thing, Oedipus complex from the Greek mythology, right? That's like a very very subdued baseline there, and so that's very philosophical and interesting, and but regardless, it's fun to read. I told you several episodes. I thought it was fun. Even thinking of it, and I have a smile in my face, right? So that's how I read this maybe like almost like 10 years ago or so. But still remember very very clearly how much fun that is. So that's my few cents today. Okay, bye.